If you're having a reflection problem in your studio and it's starting to sound a little too familiar, let me show you the solution I used in mine. When I first set up my booth, I didn't want to make it too dead, and so I didn't treat the ceiling. I didn't want to kill it too much. But as time progressed, I started to hear those reflections and it sounded a little bit boxy. So I went ahead and put in the Auralex Pro Panels, as you can see, that I mounted on hooks. 2 panels, one on each side of my booth, and it really stopped all the reflections and creates, you know, almost an anechoic effect where as soon as you walk in, you can tell the reflections are gone completely. I think more effective than carpet, and especially if you leave a little gap, and you can leave as much gap as you need to for your room and really tighten down the room and the sound around you. So Auralex Pro Panels, check them out on Auralex.com. I want to give you a quick rundown of how I mounted the new Auralex Pro Panels to the ceiling of my booth. Very simple product. You use this device to screw it directly into the foam. It's actually more like a fiber, almost like insulation. You also can flush mount using these simple spike devices. You screw into the wall and it jams right in. I also used hooks that I put in the ceiling. I put a little shrink wrap on them to minimize the friction between the two devices. Then I just hung them right on the ceiling. Simple as that. The Pro Panels arrived in a pack of 3, and since I only needed 2 for my booth, I flush mounted one on the wall of my office behind my speakers. I've also got the Auralex Pro Panels in an array in my ceiling in the control room. If you can see, hung the same way. You can get a set of tubing, and they've got hooks that clamp onto the tubing, and then you can array them in a pattern of 3. And I've got this hanging over the back of my studio and over the control room and speakers. So it's really as effective or more effective at close range, especially, than carpeting.